Medieval wood lasted 1,000 years. Modern lumber can't survive 20. Modern wood fails fast. Decks warp, fences soften, beams rot from the inside out. Yet medieval buildings, ships, bridges, and barns survived centuries of rain, frost, insects, and neglect. Not decades, centuries. That's not luck. That's lost knowledge. And once you see what they did differently, you'll never look at treated lumber the same way again. If this channel has ever saved you time, money, or even sparked your curiosity, well, hit subscribe now so you don't miss the next hidden survival lesson history already solved. Medieval wood lasted because it was chosen, cut, treated, and used with brutal honesty about nature. No shortcuts, no chemicals pretending to be protection, just systems that worked. First, they respected the tree before it was even cut. Medieval builders didn't harvest wood whenever it was convenient. Trees were felled in winter when sap was low. Less sap meant less sugar. Less sugar meant fewer fungi and insects. Modern lumber is often cut year-round, full of moisture and nutrients, practically inviting rot to move in and unpack. Then there was patience. Medieval wood was seasoned slowly, sometimes for years. Logs were air-dried, not kiln-blasted. Rapid drying cracks fibers and, well, weakens internal structure. Slow seasoning tightens the grain. Dense grain is harder for moisture to penetrate, and it's just harder for rot to start. Today's speed-focused drying gets wood to market fast, but it actually leaves it internally stressed and, well, a bit vulnerable. Species choice, honestly, mattered more than any coating you could put on. Oak, chestnut, larch, and elm were definitely favored for a reason. These woods are naturally hostile to decay. Oak is loaded with tannins that kill fungi. Chestnut contains natural preservatives similar to modern chemical treatments. Larch resists water absorption by nature. These days, modern construction often ignores species entirely. Softwood is, well, cheap. Cheap wood, it just rots faster. Honestly, history already ran that experiment. Medieval builders also understood fire as protection. Charring wood wasn't just accidental. With just a light surface burning, the outer fibers were sealed, making them both water-resistant and, insect-resistant too. Interestingly, this technique that's now been rediscovered and even marketed as a modern method was actually just common knowledge centuries ago. Fire really hardened the skin of the wood, much like it does with clay, giving it extra durability and strength. Today we sand everything smooth and expose raw fibers instead. Tar, pitch, and oils did the rest. Pine tar wasn't decorative, it was armor. Wooden ships soaked in tar survived saltwater for decades. Ah yes, fence posts and beams treated with natural oils. They have this wonderful ability to resist moisture without, trapping it inside. Now modern sealants, well, they often do quite the opposite. They tend to lock water in, which, as you might imagine, isn't ideal. And once moisture sneaks behind the coating, well, rot starts to accelerate silently and stealthily beneath the surface. Design mattered just as much as treatment. Medieval builders didn't really fight water, they guided it away. Roof overhangs were, well, pretty generous. and beams, they were raised off the ground. Joints were made to shed water instead of trapping it. Wood was, allowed to breathe. You know, modern flat designs might look clean, but they actually create moisture traps. Rot doesn't start because wood is weak. It starts because design is careless. Even placement was intentional. Wood was never buried directly in soil without stone or airflow separation. Ground contact meant death. Medieval builders knew this instinctively. Today, posts are sunk, wrapped in plastic, and left to fail out of sight. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Modern wood doesn't rot because we lack technology. It rots because we ignored systems that worked and replaced them with speed, cost-cutting, and false confidence. Pressure-treated lumber doesn't outlive well-chosen, well-seasoned, well-designed, untreated wood from the past. History proves it. You know, you really don't need to live in a castle to apply this. Just choose the right species and let your wood dry slowly. Keep it off the ground. Allow for plenty of airflow, and if you can, use natural oils or charring instead of those plastic coatings. Design so water leaves, not lingers. These aren't medieval tricks, they're timeless rules. Medieval wood survived because builders respected physics, biology, and time. Modern wood fails because we pretend chemistry can replace all three. On history's survival code, we dig up what actually worked before convenience buried it. If this changed how you think about materials, share it with someone who builds, fixes, or survives. And subscribe, because history still has a lot left to teach us.